I have a lot to go through in a little amount of time. So in this video, we're talking about quitting isn't even an option, and basically my summary of, or my key my key takeaways from Can't Hurt Me, which is one of my favorite books. Like, hands down, this is one of the best books, and just buy it and read it. Like, if you have a goal in mind, this is like fuel. Like, this is jet, like, engine fuel for your mind. And this is so important for you just to read this. And actually, let me get a water real quick. But read this, bro. Just check out Can't Hurt Me. All this is from Can't Hurt Me, not from his second book. I'm working on the same book right now, but highly recommend reading it. And yeah, let's get started with the video. I have a lot to go over this video. This, like, usually I write out my usual videos would be like 3 sticky notes. Bro, this is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sticky notes, bro. A lot to go over. Also, I'm probably gonna watch this again, so hello future me. So, quitting isn't even an option. Have this mindset where, like, quitting whatever you're doing isn't even an option. For example, when I was running track, I remember for the 2 mile, I would walk, like, it was during competition. I sucked at 2 mile then, and I'm still getting better and working on it. But I was, like, walking. I was like, I don't know what happened. I was gassed out. And I was like getting so demotivated and just so, like, you know, hearing other people like cheer on, you know, other people, but then no one was cheering on me, which that was my bad. That was my fault. And this is before I found Can't Hurt Me, and, you know, just my mindset switches that I made, and just my workflow mindset changed. And, you know, one big thing though was, before I read this book, was one big thing was quitting isn't even an option. Or, for example, like, if you're eating junk food, eating junk food for, like, you know, since I'm dieting, eating junk food isn't even an option in my mind. It isn't even, like, imagine like a video game, you know, you could do a bunch in a video game. So, for example, it's like you're playing Minecraft, I guess. Minecraft, right? For example, you know, dying isn't even an option, or, like, you know, for example, getting wood isn't even an option, for example. Like, have that mindset where, you know, that option is gone. Delete that option of quitting. You know, walking, for example, when I started getting better at 2 miles, walking wasn't even an option for me. Like, I mentally didn't have that as an option, and not having this option just forced me to, you know, even like when I'm getting tired, I'll jog, but I would just get better and better and better, just because I had that mindset where, you know, walking isn't even an option. You know, eating junk food isn't even an option. Playing video games isn't an option for me. You know, using social media isn't an option. Okay. The only, like, social media I really use is like you're just watching YouTube, because, like, I watch Hamza's podcast, which is like an hour, 2 hours long. That's just really long. But I, like, absorb a lot of knowledge and, you know, important stuff I learned from, you know, he talks about his mistakes with dating and stuff like that. I highly recommend watching Hamza. He's really, really good. He's changed my life, definitely. Quitting isn't even an option. Like, you know, you can't just give up. You know, don't have it as a mental option for yourself. For example, like, if you're running, don't have walking as an option. If you get really, really tired, just jog it out. But don't have walking as an option unless you're doing, like, David Goggins, you know, running like 200 miles and, like, something crazy like that. But, you know, in that case, don't have stopping as an option. But don't have stuff as an option. Like, don't have eating junk food as an option. Don't have playing video games as an option and mental option. Instead, you do something else. You play something else. Instead of playing video games, you go to the gym. Which, honestly, I think is so much better. And also, one reason why I used to play video games a bunch was because, you know, I hang out with my friends. And I found that way to hang out with my friends. But instead, you should hang out with your friends in person and, like, you know, go to the gym with them instead of, you know, playing video games all day with them. You know, it's so much more productive, so much better for you. And don't have quitting as an option in your mind. And one thing I really like from David Goggins that he said is, it's not a failure, it's an attempt. So basically, like, whatever you're doing in life, you know, you're learning from your mistakes. Like, he ran the Moab 240. The first time he was DQ'd, disqualified, because of health issues. He didn't see that as, you know, a failure. He saw that as him mapping, blueprinting it out mentally for him to do it again and get, like, second place, I believe. But it's not, you know, a failure. When you fail, it's not a failure, it's an attempt. And you learn from your mistakes and apply what you learn. Like, literally take note of what you're failing at. Like, for example, you're failing nofap, which actually I'm making a video because I think I cracked the secrets of like, you know, nofap pretty much. And, you know, I used to struggle with that a lot, but I just like write down, you know, my struggles, write down, you know, then I'm just noticing like the key takeaways, like, hey, I notice I'm not fapping when I'm doing this. I notice when I'm fapping when I'm not doing this. And I'm just like taking the key takeaways from everything. I'm learning from my mistakes pretty much and putting it together and piecing it together mentally for myself. And once you fully piece it together, you're not fapping anymore. It's like that mindset switch where you're just like, it's almost like, you know, you're trying to cook alcohol, right? You don't have that mindset like when your friends ask you, hey, you want to drink alcohol with me? You know, it's not like, oh, I'm not trying to drink, because then you're mostly going to drink it again. Have that mindset where you're like, no, I just don't drink. You just don't fap, bro. You just don't fap. You just don't do it because it's bad for you. It's absolutely horrible for you. Onto David Goggins stuff. The cookie jar. So the cookie jar, have a mental cookie jar for yourself. So like have a list of achievements. For example, like for me, would be doing 1,500 squats in a day and like doing them in sets of hundreds. That's definitely like a big achievement. Like you can have like small achievements too. Having, you know, a 11-minute plank hold, that's achievement. Just having even small, like, you know, quitting video games, that's achievement for me. Not eating junk food all the time. Remembering who you are and have this mindset where you're like, you know, for example, I'll use my name. I'm not Cody Wong, you know, you're Cody MFing Wong, bro. Like, just like, sometimes like when I like take cold showers, when I used to struggle taking cold showers, but like now I'm like, when I hop in the cold shower, I'm like, sorry, there's a fly. It's annoying me, but it's not, you know, you're Cody Wong, you're Cody MFing Wong, bro. You mean you're like, you're this cold dude, bro. You're not Cody Wong, you're Cody MFing Wong, or just put that MFing in the middle of your name, you know. You're MFing Wong, bro. You know what I mean? Like David Goggins switched on the mindset of, you know, I'm David Goggins to I'm Goggins. That Goggins like mindset. And yeah, that's like very military-ish because, you know, you always call each other by the last name, not the first name. Anyways, on to the next thing. Accountability mirror. Have accountability mirror for yourself. So look at yourself in the mirror and like just be very judgmental. Like just be super hard on yourself. Have that mental drill sergeant on yourself and like, you know, bro, I just fat, bro. You can't do that. You know what I mean? You just like have that really strong military like mindset in the back of your mind, like accountability mirror. Write down, you know, your struggles, what do you need to work on, and just like be hard on yourself in the mirror. Motivate your team or taking souls. Pretty much when you're like doing team like competitions and stuff like that, when you have working with your team, motivate your team along with yourself. You mean like, you know, for example, part of JRTC, so like, I don't know, just say something to motivate the team and like, you know, we're warriors, you know, we're like, you know, just like be that guy. Just motivate your team and just like get your team to work hard together. You mean, come on, you got this, you know, and like just help each other out and work together. And I really feel like I should have done that when I was running 3 miles with my friends. I should have went back for my best friend, but instead I, you know, wanted to see if I could make it 3 miles. I should have went back with my friend to motivate him and pick him up. And that was my bad. We need to like, I don't really understand the concept of taking souls, which I would probably research more, but just use that energy, use other people's energy to fuel yourself. Like, you know what I mean? Just remember that beast that you could tap into, that inner warrior beast, and just use that to motivate your team and like just stay. Motivation is crap though, because motivation is, you know, discipline is so much more important than motivation. But motivation just is like that kindling to the fire, as David Goggins explained it, you know. So then when you add more kindling to the fire, you know, when you're like going through the pain and you don't want to, just, you know, remember who you are and stay that warrior like mindset. Know where you're in the fight and stay in the fight. That was like one of the biggest things, that my biggest key takeaways is just knowing why you're in the fight and stay in the fight. Like remembering everything you. Also, that's a really good thing too. Remember everything you've been through, all the pain, all that suffering, and just remember where you started, and just use that to fuel you forward. Like, you know, I used to be a loser. I used to be. You mean, but I am a warrior. You mean, I am like. Just use past stuff to like fuel you. David Goggins uses negativity to like fuel him forward, and like use it as jet fuel. Turn that negativity, you know, where you started, where you're going in life, you know, use that as jet fuel to just push you forward. And just knowing why you're in the fight and stay in the fight, like, remember why you're doing what you're doing. You mean, you know, I'm lifting weights because I used to be fat. I am strong. I'm a warrior, though. You mean just like use that as like to fuel you. Remember why you're in the fight and stay in the fight. Take negativity and use it to dominate your task with everything you've got. So like use negativity. You know, someone says you're fat. Just remember they said you're fat and prove them wrong. Show them who you are inside. And that's just, I mean, just use anything as fuel, as like jet fuel to just push you forward, because you got to push yourself forward in life. Remember what you've been through, like any hardships, any, you know, depression, any suicidal thoughts. I use that when I work out, you know, when I'm like, you know, bench pressing, you know, I'm thinking about, you know, who I was. I used to be a lonely person, you know, and I just use that to fuel me. And also that lets out, you know, all the negativity inside of me too. Do the best work when you're least motivated. So just remember to work hard when you're least motivated. When you don't feel like, you know, working out, just go to the gym and work out. It's even more important to work out when you want to work out, because you know what I mean? But it's important to do the best work when you're least motivated. So like when you don't feel like doing something, just do it. You mean when you don't feel like cleaning your room, get off your bed and just clean your room. Just do the best work when you're least motivated. You need to go to the source of all your fears and insecurities. Find that, you know, remember that void in your heart, and find all that source of all your fears and insecurities, and just go there and use that to fuel yourself forward. Remember why are you doing whatever you're doing, which I pretty much went over earlier. What is driving you to do this achievement, toward this achievement? So, for example, you know, what's driving me towards bodybuilding would probably be, you know, just remembering I was fat, remembering who I was, and just, you know, what I want for my future son, and just what I want for my future kids. Do I want them to see me as a fat, lazy dad? No, I want to be, you know, a leader and help my kids and help my community just stop being fat and just get up and get their butt up and go to the gym. And how can I lead them when I'm fat? You know what I mean? Use that. Remember what is driving you towards this achievement. Also, Cody, if you're editing this, future me, just put all this stuff together. Where does the darkness you're using as fuel come from? So like, remember, you know, that low place in life, you know, that really dark place when you were depressed or lonely. Even if you are depressed and lonely, use everything you've got to fuel yourself forward. Remember the 40% rule. So basically, a lot of people, like majority of people, even you probably use only 40% of your true potential. Like, for example, when you're working out or doing something hard, you're only using 40% of what you got. You've got, like, you know, more fuel in that tank, bro. You gotta activate that. Keep pushing 5 to 10% more than what you got. You mean just push forward, you know? Make sure if you're working out, have good form too. Wanting it like there's no tomorrow. This reminds me of one of my favorite quotes from Rocky, because I was watching, you know, I was like a clip from it. I didn't watch all the Rocky movies, which I kind of want to watch Rocky movies, but pretty much when like Sylvester Stallone was, you know, like training with this guy, and he was like, you know, there is no tomorrow. You mean you got to train like there's no tomorrow. There may not be tomorrow, so also enjoy that, you know, enjoy your workouts too. You know what I mean? Not saying go easy, like that should enjoy it by pushing yourself even harder, because there may not be tomorrow. You may die today. You may get in a car accident on your way to the gym. Or off your way to the gym. You may, you know, get shot by someone. You know, you may die. Like, you don't, your days isn't numbers. You don't know when you're gonna die. Sure, you hope to die, you know, when you're 80, but you may die tomorrow. So just, literally just give it all you got. And just want it like there's no tomorrow. Control your mindset and dominate your mindset through that. So just like, you know, control your mind. Like, You have control of your mind. Your mind is literally one of the most powerful weapon. It is the most powerful weapon you could ever have. And just be able to control your mind and use your mind to, like, push yourself forward. Use your mind to dominate your task and through process. And quitting isn't an option. But just use your mind as like the most powerful weapon like on earth. Just dominate your task, dominate whatever you're doing, and remember, just push past that pain. No matter how much pain you're going, just push past it. Quitting isn't even an option. Remember, recap. Okay, let me do a short recap. Quitting isn't even an option. Remember that. Okay, I'll future me, please write all this stuff out. This text out. Accountability mirror. Motivate the team. Know why in the fight and stay in the fight. Take negativity and use it to dominate your task. Remember everything you've been through in life. Remember, why are you doing this? Because that's really, really important too. Remember, why are you doing this? What's driving you towards this achievement? Remember, where does the darkness you're using as fuel come from? Remember that. You need to go through the source of all your fears and insecurities. Remember the 40% rule. Wanting it like there's no tomorrow. Control your mindset and use it to dominate your task. Okay, there's one part I want to read you from David Goggins' book, which honestly, I think is beautiful. Okay. Get this book, by the way, and read it, bro. This stuff is like so good. Okay. I deploy this process I now call taking souls. I turned to Brown. You know why I call you freak, I asked. He looked over as we were lowering the boat, then lifted it overhead like creaky robots on the reserve battery power. Because you are one of the baddest men I ever seen in my dang life. He cracked a smile. And you know what I say about these MFs right here? I tipped my elbow at the 9 instructors gathered on the beach, drinking coffee and talking BS. I say they can go F themselves. Bill nodded and narrowed his eyes on our tormentors while I turned to the rest of the crew. Now, let's throw this up, this crap up and up high and show them who we are. Effing beautiful, Bill said. Let's do it. Within seconds, my whole team had life. We didn't just lift the boat overhead and set it down hard. We threw it up, caught it overhead, tapped the sand with it, and threw it up high. The results were immediate and undeniable. Our pain and exhaustion faded. With each rep made us stronger and faster. And each time we threw the boat up, we all chanted, "You can't hurt boat 2! You can't hurt boat crew 2! And okay, finish this. That was our FU to the instructors as we had the full attention and we soared on the second wind. On the toughest day of the hardest week in the world's toughest training, boat crew 2 was moving at lightning speed, making a mockery of Hell Week. The look on the instructor's face told a story. Their mouths hung open like they were witnessing something nobody ever seen. Some averted their eyes, almost embarrassed. Only SPG looked satisfied. So, just remember, motivate your team. Like, just keep them motivated and stick together. Just remember to do the hard work, especially when you feel like it. Please like and subscribe. And the future me, believe in you. Do the hard work, especially when you feel like it. Remember everything you've been through. Just remember everything. Just try to take all this in. It's hard to take all this in at once, but just write this stuff out and just keep it on your walls. Just do the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it. That's all I can say. Remember to like and subscribe too, please. Thank you.